Hello, hello, hello. Hello, it's back. I almost forgot to film this, record this today. It's 9 PM, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep writing this script for my next video. And I was like, wait, no, I've got to make this, don't I? But yeah, no, we're here. It's another weekly update, and this one is the last one was off the cuff. This one is even more off the cuff. But there is a general idea I want to talk about. I'm not gonna bother I don't know why I do this, right? But for all of the ones in the past, I cut up my audio, so I take out all the breaks in my breathing, so it all flows quickly, like I would for a normal video. I'm not doing that this time. I'm just gonna record it because it just takes so much extra time and I can't be bothered. So yeah, you're gonna hear my breathing more, and you can deal with it, I don't care. But no, what I want to talk about this week, I don't actually have, I literally don't know what I'm gonna talk about. Wait, no, I know what I'm gonna talk about. I want to talk about mindset, but I don't know what I'm gonna actually talk about within mindset, because my main point is really just how important mindset is to everything. It's kind of like a baseline level 0 towards literally any goal you have. I think sometimes people can be really quick to just jump straight into action, but I think what precedes action has to be like a good mindset. Otherwise, I feel like you're kind of just running in circles somewhat if you don't have a good foundation for what you're doing. And that's what I've been trying to hone in on lately. And there's a few reasons for that. Number one, I watched besides Better Call Saul, I watched like the first bit of television or like media on Netflix or like a streaming service since like Squid Game, which is like 10 months ago. It's like the last thing I watched. I watched the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, and it was no, it was really good. Even though I watched there was an Australian thing on TV like a year ago. There was an Australian in the Bulls really good team during the late 90s called, I think it's Luke Longley, and he's an Australian who just did not appear in the documentary at all, despite being like a player who was on the team. So there were some omissions in the documentary, but overall it was just really cool watching it and seeing Michael Jordan's mentality to basketball. And holy shit, they weren't kidding when they said he was like hyper competitive. He had like that killer mindset when it came to like playoff games. Like it was win at all costs no matter what for him. And it's just kind of like almost scary to see how much confidence someone like that has in them. And I remember there's two interesting things I found about the documentary. Number one was the coach of the team, whose name is give me a sec. NBA Bulls coach MJ. Is Phil Harvey? What was his name? Oh, I'm struggling here, and I'm gonna have to make a cut. Phil Jackson, there we go, yeah. Phil Jackson, he's really cool. They introduced him as like, he played basketball, but he was like super into psychedelics and like Buddhist philosophy, and he was really zen, and he was really big on like all the stretches, meditating and stuff like that, to hone people's like mentality. And that was one part I found really interesting. Like he was quite big on the mental side of basketball, not just the physical. And then in the last season, the 98 season, which they ended up winning, Jordan said it was like, even though he wasn't at his physical prime, he fully reached his mental prime. And they talk about it in the last episode about how he was had so much confidence in himself and a belief in success. Like failure wasn't even an option to him. He didn't even consider it, it's just like that, having a foundation like that. I mean, might sound corny as hell, but like what can't you achieve when you have that level of dedication and commitment and confidence in yourself to do something? And of course, he has that, right? I mean, that on its own is good. But then he backs it up with rigorous training. He was a fucking arsehole to his teammates, right? He wanted to win at all costs. Like that was his only goal. That's the first thing I've been thinking about in terms of mindset, and just seeing like someone, the extreme of it, of having like just an unrivaled really in his mindset. I found that really interesting. It's something I want to hone in more. Not to that extent, because it's a bit scary to be honest, because I don't think anyone on his team, they did not like him, but I think they were kind of scared of him at times during the season. That was the first thing. And the second thing I've been reading, well, actually, I read a whole book. What is it called? The Magic of Thinking Big. That's the last book I finished. I finished that 3 days ago, which is a really good book. I'd recommend it. It's by, let me get it one sec. It's by David Schwartz. It's about 300 pages. It was a really good read, just about belief and how it should underpin everything you do, because, I mean, what's the alternative, right? Like, even if something's, like, out of reach and hard to do, if you go into it with the mentality that I'm not going to be able to do this, well, tough luck. You're probably not going to be able to do it, are you? But, no, it's a really good book, and I've just started reading, David Goggins. My previous perception of him was just a dude who used to pop up on my, like, if I ended up on YouTube Shorts when I never should. I sometimes do, because I do use YouTube a lot. It's my source of income. I do like to stay up to date on it. But sometimes I stumble across shorts, to just be this shirtless guy running in the desert, being like, "You're a pussy, fuck you," and being like, "You can't quit," like literally like just the most, I don't know how to describe it, like. the most, if you think of motivate, like a hardcore disciplined motivational speaker, it was this guy I thought of. And then I learned he was David Goggins, I don't know, like half a year ago. And I looked a bit into him and oh my God, this is in the same vein, probably even more than Jordan. This guy is nuts. I'm reading his book right now. It's like kind of like a biography and he's kind of reflecting on it. And he had such a hard childhood and he ended up kind of like ultimatum in his early 20s. He wanted to be a Navy SEAL, but he needed to lose like 100 pounds, which I think is like 40 kilos in 3 months if you want to make the SEALs like tryouts or something. And he just built the most insane discipline and mindset of just losing that much weight in such a short time. Genuinely insane stuff. I don't know how he did it. What was it? He was like, he would run 2 hours, work out 2 hours, swim 2 hours, run again. He was doing like 8 hours of activity and had one tiny meal so he could lose all the weight in time, which is just, that's some next level mental fortitude you got there. But no, they're like the two things I've been seeing in mindset lately, along with the book I read about belief, which is a less extreme version of that. But no, I just think in whatever you do, again, this is kind of linking back to, I was talking a bit about it in my 1 year retrospective, but having faith in what you do and having belief, it's definitely necessary to make progress anywhere, I think. Or to make any meaningful progress, at least. Like, if you start something and you're not committed to it, I think that's kind of reflected in the, I don't know, I don't sound like an absolute idiot here, but I think that's just, like, reflected in the neurochemistry of your body. Is if you don't believe yourself, you're just never gonna, like, reach that outcome. Like, your body's not gonna prepare for it, I guess. I don't know what the biological terms would be for it. I just read a book about it, and don't judge me. But, like, I don't know. I think it's impossible to succeed in any capacity without having a really strong mindset behind it, which is what I'm honing in on. Especially in terms of the physical. I guess I could link in the progress update here, but I'm going balls to the wall on the physical. I'm not only working out 6 times a week, I'm also running after every workout, which is, I don't have the greatest cardio, so running, I only do like 5Ks, because after a workout I don't have much energy, but running 5Ks, it's not, I like working out's fun, but running, that shit's hard. I've kind of reached this point though, this is what I've probably taken from these like mindsets of like, you're gonna reach a point, right, when you're running, and this is linked to mindset, I don't want to sound like this is a massive tangent, but you'll be running, right, and I'll be like 20 minutes in, I'm 2/3 of the way through my run, and then I'll be like, my calves, I've had the worst calves my whole life, they always fucking like hurt, and I'll be like, this is hurting a lot, but I've kind of reached a point where I'm like, this is good. Like, at this is the point, like, when it's hurting, when it's hard, that's when you're making the progress. That's when if you decide to keep going, you're really improving at something. And it's the same with writing a script. I've noticed this a lot. I used to do it way more now, but now I've become aware of it. I'd write for like 10 minutes to a script, and I'd reach like a mental block. And I'd just give up. Not like fully, I'd procrastinate for 5 minutes and I'd be like, oh, I can't do this. And eventually I'd come back to it unfocused and it'd be way harder. But what I've realized is like, you reach this mental barrier at some point, whatever you're doing. Physical, I don't know, it could be reading, meditating, something like that. You reach a point where you're like, I want to quit. I don't want to do it. But that is the point where like the most progress will be made. If you keep persisting past that point, that is where you will make great progress. So on my runs, I kind of have, it's a really powerful mentality to have because I'll be like out of breath. I'm hurting. But then I'm like, this is like the point at which if I keep going, my run tomorrow is going to be easier. My run in a week from now is going to be easier. If I keep running like this, my runs are going to get easier and easier and easier for the same distance, right? And so I almost get to a point where I'm like in pain and I just kind of like have to smile to myself like, but this is good. This is where I want to be to make progress, which might sound a little bit manic, but honestly, it's something I found really productive for me, at least in achieving my goals and working towards them more, especially for like scripts and stuff as well and editing. It's just a good thing to think of is that, oh, it's hard now, but that's what I want. That's when I can start disciplining myself more, is if I keep pushing at this point, I know I'm going to get better tomorrow and the day after and the day after. You know, that's pretty much what I want to talk about. I'll talk about mindset. I think it's just foundation number one in whatever you do. It's having some level of confidence in yourself, even if you don't feel confidence, maybe fake it a little bit. Because I think confidence is kind of like, you can kind of fake it till you make it, but I feel like at some point, I think confidence is linked with competency a lot. So if you're not confident in something, it's probably because you're not very competent at it. So I think if you can mix this kind of like, you know, you're kind of faking being confident, but you're also starting to get more and more competent, I think they kind of blend together nicely to make this kind of sense of confidence and a sense of progression. So if you're just starting off with something, I wouldn't blame you for being not confident in it, but just try and kind of push yourself to be confident. Just try and adopt the mentality where you kind of faking it a little bit, but like you're kind of pushing forward, because I think that's just a good mindset to have, is to be confident in what you're doing, because I think that maximizes your results. And where I'm at now, if I say something like videos, right, I'm at a point where I'm very competent at making a video. So I feel very confident in myself to keep getting better and better. I'm kind of past that initial like steep curve where it's like, I'm not actually good at this, how can I be confident? So I'm kind of just at a point where I feel like my confidence in making videos is going to keep stacking on itself, and I'm going to just keep getting better and better, which is a really nice feeling to have. But yeah, that's just what I want to bring up about confidence today. I don't even have, Let me check my Audacity recording, 1 sec. And just like that, I've talked for 12 minutes when it's felt like nothing. God, I don't know how I do that. But okay, let's give the progress update, I guess. I didn't do one last week, so I did the year retrospective, which I figured that made up one. I'm officially, actually, let me check my notebook. There are 67 days remaining in this challenge. So I think today's must be only 1/3 of the way through. And I'm less than 9k subs off 100k. That goal's getting ticked off in the next 2 weeks, by the way, once I upload. That's done. 100k is sealed. I'm so happy with that, by the way. I'm probably going to get there in 50 days when I thought I'd take 100. That's nuts. And that's good because it means I can dedicate more time to dunking because, oh god, if you live in Sydney, the rain, I have not been able to go to the courts, like at all. It's just been rained out. I can't do it in the rain. Like, I will fall and die, and it won't be good. So instead, I haven't missed any workouts or anything like that, but oh, I have not been able to make the courts as much as I want to. So hopefully I can hit 100k and then dedicate more time to dunking and doing plyometrics and stuff like that. Reading's been good. I'm definitely going to smash probably like 10 books at least, I think. How many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I've done 5.5 books so far. One was only 100 pages though, so it was a short book. So we'll say 4. About 4 books. So that's going well. And meditation, that's going well too. I'm meditating 5 minutes every day. I started at 1 minute because I really struggled and I just wanted to build the habit. And 30 days in, I've got a habit formed and now I can just keep progressively overloading it, which is great. So progress is good. Feeling excellent. And I hope you are too. I hope you are too. I got a gun pointing at your head. I hope you're feeling good. I hope this stuff about mindset might help. It's more just me unpacking some thoughts I had about it, and maybe it can help you. But no, I want to hone in my mindset more. I want that MJ killer mentality in the playoffs towards videos and my physical health. You know, I want to reach that level of confidence. Maybe not that level, but I want to get more confident and have a stronger mindset in general, at least. But yeah, I think I'll cut it there. It's been 14 minutes somehow. That flew by. Jesus. Sometimes when you just talk, you just talk and talk, don't you? But we'll leave it there. So thank you for watching. This is another progress update on the Almaxo second channel. And yeah, thank you for watching. Oh, no, that's not what I say. I say farewell. Yeah, let me do that again. This has been... No, I don't say that. Okay, fuck. Farewell, elite level gamer. That's what I was trying to say. There we go. We got it.